I want to get to that cable car. And the streets are quite nice, but it's hot. You know, it's still 36, so I'm trying to avoid the sun while I can. You see a lot of people, they get a taxi up here, and then I think at the top it's almost impossible to do a U-turn. I don't know how this guy did it. So you have to go backwards all the way down. But I think we're going the right way because there's lots of people. Got all the grapes. You see them everywhere. It's quite a winding path going up the mountain, and you get some nice views. But I'm hoping there's a different way down. I have to come back down these steps. So you get to the top and you get a view of the back half or the back side. Let's have a look what you can see at the front. It's Tblisi from afar. Let's go catch the cable car. It's hopefully not far. Gotta walk through the gift shop first. It's definitely the best way to get there. Don't go walking up the mountain. Don't take a taxi. Take the cable car. It's cheap and it takes 3 minutes. Somewhere near here, there's a bridge called the Bridge of Peace. I saw it on the way down. I think it's over here. And it should lead me to the old town, which is, I think, the more interesting part of town to walk around. And at least the sun's low in the sky now, so it's not so hot. Look at these trees. They look like, I'm not sure if they're like that naturally. They look like dinosaurs. Funny shapes. Free wine tasting. It's a bit early. It's not that early. But I mean, I want to explore first before I get into wine tasting. There's a lot of religious buildings here. I think there's a synagogue around here somewhere, which I'll go to if it's open, or when it's open. This is open, but you can never, you're not supposed to film inside, so, and usually it's quite dark. Street dogs protecting every restaurant. I was gonna say this looks more modern, but it's not modern. I don't think. designer street. And I just happened to find this bazaar. I don't know if it's open. I thought it was closed at this time, but we'll have a look. Oh, it's nice and cool in here. Oh, there's lots of interesting stuff here. I don't think I could bring this back. It's weird. This is a market with some stuff for tourists and some maybe real, maybe fake antiques. But there's no pushy salespeople. Or at least I didn't see them yet. It's like a showroom. It's not really a market. It's kind of like a shop that's designed to look like a market, but they've got some interesting stuff. So I might come back at some point. So I think I found myself in the sulfur bath district or area, because I see these domes, and I think there's some bathhouses still working here. There's some kids climbing on top. Let's have a look. Not far from here, I think there's something called the Clock Tower, which is maybe one of the more famous. He's like skidding in the mud here on his scooter. It's maybe one of the more famous buildings here. Somewhere near here. Look at this place. It's called Pasanori. Pasanori is a town on the way to Kozbeki, which I actually stopped by the other day. But this is also a chain restaurant, and it's good. I went there for lunch, and it's not expensive. One of the things I noticed about Tbilisi is like there's some buildings that are in a state of disrepair, and some that are new, like right next to it. So like this building here, it looks quite new. And then, okay, this was not that bad, but you'll see some buildings and they're literally falling apart. I'll show you some, because for sure we're gonna run into some of those buildings today. You see, look at these buildings here. They are, I think, mostly abandoned. You can see like broken glass, graffiti. This one is, I don't know. Maybe someone's still living there. But you waiting for someone to come and, I don't know, revamp. And then you've got buildings like this, which look like they've been newly renovated. So that's the kind of mix you get in Tbilisi. And sometimes you even see like restaurants built in the ruins of older buildings. So new mini buildings built inside of older buildings. There's a lot of graffiti in Tbilisi. Some of it's just really graffiti. It's just vandalism. A lot of it is like this, but there's some of it ends up being like street art. No, the last time I saw stuff like this was in Nepal. After they've had, they had an earthquake a few years ago, and some of the buildings were left in a dangerous state. But you see it here because the buildings are also, well, you can probably see that they're leaning. But then just next to it, there'll be some nice newer buildings. Makes it a fun place to wander around because you never know what you're going to see. It's my last day in Tbilisi, and I want to walk along one of the main avenues. I think it's called Tblisi Avenue, and it kind of starts here. It's a place called Liberty Square, and it goes behind me for about a mile. So let's get close to the Liberty Square monument, and then we'll start walking back, because this is the main street, as far as I can tell, in Tbilisi. Interesting thing here, to cross the road, very often you have to go under it, like in underpasses. And the underpasses here, there's usually something commercial. Sometimes it's graffiti, but it's commercial too. So I'll show you what it looks like. This one's actually not so bad, I think, because that's a police booth at the bottom. But this is the Liberty Square monument. Well, I'm just going to walk back along the street, because this seems to be where it's all happening. And I was just at the National Museum, which is somewhere up ahead. All the art galleries, some fancy hotels, stuff like that's on this street. So this is the Liberty Square metro station, and there's one thing I haven't seen before, is H&M here. They've translated it into Georgian. I don't know if it's the same two letters, because you couldn't do this in every language. You couldn't do this in Japanese or Korean. They just say H&M, but here they've managed to try. That's for the same store. There's one thing I quite like here is people would just set up store anywhere on the side of the street, and it's usually to sell books. I don't know why it's books in particular. There's other stuff too, like this lady up ahead. But you just see, street stalls. People trying to make some extra money. I guess that's what you could think of it as. That's the National Museum across the street. It's 40 lari for a ticket, which is, it's like $10, $12. It's not really worth that. I think half would be what I'm willing to pay. But if you have nothing to do, then why not? Some of these buildings are seriously impressive. I don't know what this is. I'm going to check in a minute. But there's graffiti on them, and people protesting outside them, which I want to be a bit careful about because there's police around. And that's, I think, is one of the art museums across the road, Fine Art Museum. So I didn't expect that. That's behind me is the Georgian Parliament building, and the protests, or the people sitting outside the front, they're anti-government. They think the government is pro-Putin or something like that. So that's what that's about. Anyway. let's keep wandering, because all of the buildings here look quite, they're all quite interesting. You know, despite the graffiti, it doesn't feel unsafe. It's just, there's a lot of it, but you know, it doesn't feel dangerous to walk around even at night here. And that's the art museum across the road. You know, normally I wouldn't comment on politics, and I'm not really commenting really, I'm just telling you what I see. But it's kind of in your face here, with the graffiti and the flags and things like that. It's something you're gonna notice. Hi. Hey. Well, that's it for Tbilisi. I've been here for 4 or 5 days. I feel like a good feel for the place, even though the weather's not been great. If I came back again, I wouldn't do it in the summer. It's too hot. You know, 36, no one wants to be outside in that weather. But today is overcast and it's quite cool. Anyway, I'm sure I'll be back in Georgia. But tomorrow I'll be in another country. So that's it for now.